Oh, sorry. It has been really warm in Sweden. This was just a little kidding. Today it is still warm, but it's a little windy, so it's not all that much heat. But the past couple of days have been the warmest in Sweden this year. So, but I'm not complaining. I mean, there was a whole June when everybody was going around and saying that it was so bad that the summer wasn't going to show up, and now when it shows up, everybody's complaining here in Sweden that it's too warm. Swedes can never make their mind up when it comes to the weather. But still, it is summertime, and I felt like last year in June I did a video where I showed some summer music. I showed a lot of great summer hits, music for if you laying on the beach or if you laying on the grass and just relaxing, if you want to have a good time in the summer. And I felt like, why not do it this year again, because summer music is something that I like very much and have a lot of it, and I give this a 2015 edition of some music for summer. So I have a lot of records here that was summer hits or that I feel is suitable for summertime, from the different genres. You have some 90s, some jazz, some 70s, some, of course, a lot of 80s. So let's get started. I hope this will not be all too long, and try to speed it up a bit. Starting with the songs from the 80s. I think you recognize some of them. This is Susan Vega, Luca, from 1987. One of the most popular songs that year. On the other side, a live version of Straight Lines. Paul McCartney had a summer hit in 1986, Press, from the album Press to Play. I guess people are a little divided of whether or not that is a good Paul McCartney album. I think it is a great album, while many of the guys who like Beatles think that is a little too much 80s of it. But I like Paul McCartney of the 80s. On the other side, it's not true. Classic from 1985. This is Childhood Memories. I loved this song when it came, and I still think it's a great summer hit, great summer disco from the 80s. Dead or Alive, produced by Stock Aitken Waterman and In Too Deep. I'd Do Anything on the B-side. Really awesome, produced by Stock Aitken Waterman. The early Stock Aitken Waterman I love very much. Some rock and roll. This is not from 80s, but from 91. It is still on vinyl. Dan Reed Network, Baby Now I. Dan Reed Network, sadly forgotten great group today. On the other side, Slavery, Chains. Back to the 80s. This is Wax, another one of my favorite from my childhood, and Bridge to Your Heart, Building a Bridge to Your Heart. This came out here in Sweden when the summer was almost ended, but still I connected with the summer. Another side, Ready or Not. I really like the video of Building a Bridge to Your Heart. It's a classic, one of the best videos ever made by Graham Goldman's former 10cc buddies, Godlin Cream. Having some 80s, a little more calypso style disco, from 1985, both of them. This is a single I got free from a friend of mine. Marlena by Goombay Dance Band. Normally I don't like this band. They're very close to Ottovan and Boney M and all this crappy German 70s disco. But I love this song Marlena. I heard it first time when I was a kid and it has been stuck with me ever since. And if you can take a look at the live performance that they do, because it's hysterically funny choreography and dancing that they have. And more calypso style, Kid Creole and the Coconuts and Andy Cutt. And on the other side, see if I can pronounce this, Do Wop Salsa Bop Rock. Interesting thing is, one of the Coconuts is actually Swedish. Married to August Pernell, who is Kid Creole, and August Pernell have lived a few years in Sweden, and I don't know if he still lives in Sweden or not. Maybe someone knows, but there's a strong connection between Sweden and Kid Creole and the Coconuts. Here is a really relaxing 80s new wave synth pop that I really think is so awesome to listen to when you want to relax in summertime. China Crisis, Wishful Thinking. Another side of this Occupation. And the final 80s song. Of course, in the last video I showed Howard Jones. Going to have some more Howard Jones. But Howard Jones in the summer, there's something with that. From 1994, Like to Get to Know You Well. As you can see here, he has written Like to Get to Know You Well in several languages. And one of those is Swedish. Skulle vilja lära känna er bättre. We're having French here, we're having Chinese, Deutsch, German, Dutch, and so on. Moving on to the 90s. I showed the 90s with Dan Reed Network. Here's another one. George Michael, Too Funky. And on the other side, it is Crazy Man Dance. And now we're moving on from the vinyl to CD singles and the 90s. The Hooters. This one is a really great favorite of mine. Boys Will Be Boys with Cyndi Lauper in the choir. And here the other tracks are All Around the Place and Things of Beauty. Remember when this came, it was 1993 the summer, and it wasn't much in that summer that I felt was really good. But when I heard this, every time I heard this song, I got so happy, because this was by far the best song of 1993, I thought, at that time. Some of the songs from the time has grown since then, but that was my favorite song that summer. It's strange how some songs can have the power to be a summer classic, even though they don't sound summer one bit. This following song doesn't sound summer at all when you listen to it, but still it was a huge summer hit, and it was on the chart that I listened to in the 90s every Saturday, Sommartoppen, and it became a summer classic for me. Talking about Alanis Morissette and Ironic. Not a huge Alanis Morissette fan, but this one I actually like very much. The other tracks are a live acoustic version of You Oughta Know, and live versions of Mary Jane and All I Really Want. I have to read a lot of titles now when we're coming to CD singles, because many of these are not 2-track singles. Here is another one, a little calmer thing that may not sound all that much summer when you listen to it, but it became a summer hit, and I really loved it from the start. Youssou N'Dour from Senegal in Africa, and the Swedish singer Nanny Cherry, and a song called 7 Seconds, really classic ballads. On the other side, I'm still stuck in the vinyl. The other tracks are Mamba and a couple of remixes of 7 Seconds. This one was not a summer hit, but if you want to have some really funky summer, really relaxing funky summer songs, listen to Jamiroquai. Amazing artist, really funky and really relaxing production. Sounds a little like 70s Stevie Wonder and so on. And this is a CD single called Virtual Insanity. Other tracks. Do you know where you're coming from? Bullet, and an album version of Virtual Insanity. Yet another song that doesn't sound too much summer when you listen to it the first time, but became a huge summer hit, and I really liked it because it was really, really relaxing rock and roll, guitar rock, you might call it, guitar pop. Deep Blue Something, Breakfast at Tiffany's. If I showed any of these 1 year ago, please forgive me. My memory may not be all that good, but I tried to take others than I showed 1 year ago. Other tracks here are Water, Prayer, and a song called Sun. From 1999, my favorite little girl, Robin, and Play. Her summer hit that year. Really, really great guitar soul. Good Thing is on the other side. Is on track 2. This is a 2-track CD single. And finally, among the pop, summer pop hits from 1994 and the movie Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones with BC-52s, aka B-52s. Another side is a space cowboy mix of Meet the Flintstones. So, a little summer jazz maybe. If you want some relaxing summer jazz, why not listen to Sonny Rollins? This is a great collection, I think only released in Sweden, because it's released on a Swedish label called Amigo by a big company Bonnier. It is a little low budget release, but still a very, very good one. They are recording from the 50s. The oldest one is from 52 and the newest from 1959. This is really, really good. You have Milt Jackson, John Lewis, and you're having the entire modern jazz quartet here. And in some tracks, and you're having some with just Sonny Rollins with piano trio led by Tommy Flanagan, and piano trio led by Sonny Rollins, Sonny Clark also, some songs, piano trio, and the sax. Really, really relaxing and awesome collection. This is something that I also like to listen to during summer times, is live jazz. It's really, really, really relaxing and listen to live jazz. And one of my absolute favorites, maybe not a perfect sleeve, but still one of my absolute favorite jazz live jazz recordings is Benny Goodman's recordings when he played in Stockholm in 1950. Swedish radio recorded it, and it is consisting Roy Eldridge, Zoot Sims, Toots Thielemans, Dick Hyman, Charlie Short, Eddie Shaughnessy, and also a vocal Nancy Reed. It's also interesting here because they recorded first, Swedish radio recorded when they played a little before the concert just to do some checks. So they recorded 3 songs out of the schedule, and then they recorded again when the air check was supposed to begin. So it's funny to hear like how Benny Goodman is announcing this this concert twice, first for the audience and then for the radio for the audience. So, pretty funny, but amazingly relaxing swing. I said Zoot Sims was there. Here he comes on his own in a very special EP. This is Zoot Sims plays alto, tenor, and baritone. This may not be something that normally I would really like, but I think it's so fantastic done, so I make an exception for this one. Zoot Sims is normally a tenor saxophone player, but here they have managed to mix him together in one recording. So he plays all 3 saxophones at the same time on this recording. So it's little cheating on, and little trick recorded, but I still think it's as being recorded in the 50s. I think it is a very, very strange EP, but really, really relaxing, really, really well made. So I shouldn't like this, but I do. I think it is magnificent done. And some Stan Getz, of course. A relaxing summer where Stan Getz is nothing. Swedish All-Stars. He plays with Swedish musicians here. Among those, the pianist Bengt Hallberg. And he plays Schoolboy, Night and Day, I Only Have Eyes for You, and my favorite Stan Getz song in summertime, Dear Old Stockholm, who here is named by its original Swedish version, because it is a jazz version of a Swedish folk song called Ack Värmeland du sköna. But when Stan Getz took that song over to the USA again, because he lived in Sweden for many years, when he took it back to USA, he called it Dear Old Stockholm. So this is a really, really relaxing and awesome CD single with Stan Getz. And more Stan Getz, coming into some Brazilian music, even though there's made in USA. This is Big Band Bossa Nova, Stan Getz, arranged and conducted by Gary McFarland. This is released on Verve in 1962, gatefold. This is really, really great and well made. I think that Gary McFarland had done such a magnificent arrangement, and it is conducting this orchestra so fantastic. This is a really awesome orchestra, and Getz and the band fit so well together. Highly recommended. And some more Brazilian. CD that I showed a couple of vinyl updates ago. Elis Regina and Elisa Müller from 1979, I think. This is really, really relaxing bossa nova, the bossa nova style. We're having songs here by Joe Bosco, Baden Powell, and Paulo Cesar Pineiro, and surprisingly nothing from Antonio Carlos Jobim, but this is fantastic. I really recommend Kai Dentero and Beba Ekbelbistra. Really great summer Latin music. And finally, some 70s summer music. All three in the genre of soul. Delegation, The Promise of Love. Really, really great. I think these guys sing so well together. This is a really, really well made and great album from 1976-77. Really, really funky and smooth at the same time. And the same goes with this one that I bought last summer, Thelma Houston, Any Way You Like It, featuring Don't Leave Me This Way. Really, really great. I really highly recommend the ballad Don't Make Me Pay for Another Girl's Mistake. A really, really great ballad. And finally, some really relaxing instrumental disco tune. Isaac Hayes' Movement, album he released in 1975. A pure disco album that is more or less instrumental. Disco Connection is the title. Really funky and really awesome. So I hope that you have found something here that you can relax with in the summertime, whatever you do. So with that, I hope to see you soon again, and until next time, have a really nice beginning of next week, and so long.